Wait, stop scrolling. You say you want to have a little magic in your life? Well, don't go anywhere because the ArtsFam's got your back.
Stay tuned. Hi, and welcome to the ArtsFam podcast.
Did you know that it's the only show of its kind that spotlights the entertainment scene in Southern Maryland?
We're your hosts, Lindsey, Pommerenck, and James LePore.
We are.
And every week we bring you a list of all the fun things you can do this week in Southern Maryland. As you're always saying, James.
Roses are red. Tacos are delicious. I buy paper plates because I don't like to do dishes. Okay, I also have been known to say that there's more to do here in Southern Maryland than you have time to do. And I've been saying that for a long time because it's true.
I know that's right. Speaking of, let's get started on these events.
We got quite a few, too, because you know what I noticed, Lindsey, now that we're heading down towards spring, the events are just popping. I mean...
Oh, they are, yes. So first, we have on Wednesday, February 14th, the Anti-Valentine's Day Party at the Leonardtown Library from 5 to 7 p.m. It says, come join us for this fun-filled Anti-Valentine's Day Party. There will be food, crafts, and more. Please note, this program is intended for tweens and teens only. But you know what? I think that's fun because I remember being in middle school and high school and wanting to have somebody special like that. But let's be real, you really don't need to at that age. So go have the Anti-Valentine's Day Party with your besties.
Oh, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, that's great.
Do you like chocolate?
Yeah.
Oh, me too. I love chocolate. So here, how about this? Saturday, February 10th, 8 a.m., where I'm still sleeping, but 8 a.m.
Yeah. I'll go.
Jefferson Patterson Park and Museum, which is in St. Leonard. Right?
Okay.
They're having something called the Hot for Chocolate 5K.
Ooh.
And it's a family-friendly, fun-filled race through Jefferson Patterson Park. So, I mean, you get to see everything.
Yeah.
Followed by a festive finish line festival that includes music, food, and hot chocolate.
Ooh.
Now, the race beneficiaries are Project Echo and the Friends of Jefferson Patterson Park and Museum. Here's the breakdown. Ages 13 to 99 is $45.
So if you're 100, don't show up.
I'm 99 years old. I want my ticket.
Next, on Tuesday, February 13th, from 4:30 p.m. to 7 p.m., you have Strove Tuesday Pancake Dinner. And that's at the Leonardtown Volunteer Fire Department. It says dine in or grab a carryout, and dinner includes pancakes, country sausage and bacon from Russell Brothers Farm, scrambled eggs, home fries, applesauce, and drinks. And you know what? I love that because you know that's going to a good place.
Oh yeah.
And it's breakfast food. Like,
But I've always done Shrove Tuesday.
Really?
Always pancakes. Yeah.
Shut up.
Even
I love that.
my kids, Amanda and Tia, they say, "Well, Dad, tomorrow night's like pancakes, right?" And yeah.
Oh my God.
The whole idea is the next day is Ash Wednesday, starts Lent, and
okay.
back in the old days, I mean like old days, not like 1960, but way back when people used to like bulk up by eating a lot of like pancakes and stuff because many people fasted on Ash Wednesday. So that's how that all came about. But yeah, it's a fun thing to do.
How interesting.
Yep.
I love it.
Sunday, February 11th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. They're having Aero Park Farmers Market. Now, this is at Airport Terminal Building, Airport Road, California. That's near me.
I love a
lot
farmer's
of
market.
small planes coming in and out.
Love
so
it.
even if you're there for the fresh fruit and
Yeah.
everything, if you have kids that maybe have never seen planes
Oh my
take
God,
off
they'll
and
love
land,
it.
it's a lot
Yeah.
of fun. It's and sponsored by a place that is very near and dear to my heart, Historic Solderly, which I know we're going to be
Yes.
covering a lot of things, especially their wine event, Wine Fest.
Ooh.
That's a big deal thing. This has local vendors bringing you everything you need from meats and produce to baked goods and chocolates. Chocolate again.
I'm
this
sensing a theme.
There's a theme here,
Yeah.
and this is important too. They say when you shop local, up to 68% of the money you spend stays in the community.
Oh, that's so great.
So yeah, come support
Yeah.
these wonderful entrepreneurs.
Next, I have on Saturday, February 10th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., My Funny Valentine. It's at Earthwide Pet, and that's in Leonardtown. It says, join us in celebrating Valentine's Day with your furry Valentine. Pictures with Pup Cupid. Donate an item to a furry Valentine in need.
So you bring your pets
Yeah, you
there.
bring your pet.
You can't go there and come home with a pet. Unless you're you, but...
Are you ripping on me because of my cat adoption situation?
I have a few cats myself, so I'm not in any position to say, but that's just what I thought of. It's like, so you're bringing your pet.
Yes,
That's
you
cute.
bring your pet. Yeah, I think that's so adorable.
Now, let's back. It's Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
It's love-themed things. So February 9th to the 18th is at the Three Notch Theater, Newtown Players performing A Journey Through Love. It's a night on Broadway that they do, every year.
Yeah,
Night on Broadway, A Journey Through Love, dazzling cabaret show that takes audiences on a romantic journey through the enchanting world of Broadway. Beloved musical numbers from shows such as She Loves Me, Hello Dolly, Dogfight, A Journey Through Love showcases the beauty, heartache, and joy that love brings to the stage. And hopefully you don't have too much heartache mixed in with your loves. I mean, I'm always there. You're always there. These cabaret shows are great.
Next, on Friday, February 9th, from 7 to 9 p.m., there's Latin dance night lessons at Kitchen Latrice in Mechanicsville.
Ooh la la.
We've talked about Kitchen Latrice before. Someday, it is our utmost hope to have Ms. Latrice herself.
I spoke to her on the phone last night. See, now you're going to be all jealous and everything.
Oh, my God.
Because I wanted to make sure that I was reading the ad correctly.
Okay.
Because it said Latin night. And I said, it looks like it's Latin dancing.
Yeah.
So I just called her and said, look, it is like dancing lessons. You're going to learn how to do it, right? There was his food trucks are there and great drink specials and stuff. Okay. Here's something really different, okay? And again, there seems to be a lot of stuff going on lately at the Patuxent River Naval Air Museum. Here's something really different there, right? It's Saturday, February 10th, Spirits of Southern Maryland 2024. And that is more than a dozen Maryland distilleries gather to present award-winning spirits and delicious cocktails to nearly 600 attendees over 2 sessions. And believe me, they'll be there. VIP pass holders, if you get one of those, they enjoy early entry to the event and get to sample exclusive spirits. So make sure you have somebody to drive you home.
Or an Uber, maybe, a Lyft.
Yeah, exactly. Each 2-hour general admission session features sampling, education, and lots of fun. I mean, there are cool distilleries around here.
Next, on Saturday, February 10th, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. is the Sweetheart Valentine's Mother-Son and Father-Daughter Dance.
Oh, that's nice.
I know, it's so adorable.
I always did that with Amanda and Tia, the daddy-daughter stuff. Yeah.
That's so sweet. It's at the Ridge Volunteer Fire Department, and that is in Rich, Maryland. They're going to have punch and desserts provided and a DJ for music. So that just sounds such a fun way to celebrate with the family.
I don't want somebody to punch me, though. I mean, oh, you mean drink punch. I get it. Again, Saturday, February 10th. This is like a hot day, man.
It is.
It's
happening.
Now, here's a contest. Try to do all the things that we mentioned on Saturday, February 10th. If you complete each and every one and provide photographic proof, we will mention you on the show. That's it. No, there's no prize. That is the prize. We'll mention you. So, okay, but anyway, Saturday, February 10th is a Valentine murder mystery dinner theater.
Oh my goodness!
How cool is that, right?
Yes.
It's a little further out. It's Deal, Elks Lodge, 2528.
But that would be
and
worth
Do or
it.
Die Productions is the people who do it, right? A night of love, laughs, and mayhem as they celebrate Valentine's Day. Doors open 5:30. Dinner and show starts at 5:30 p.m.
And then for our final event this week, on Thursday, February 8th at 7 p.m., there is a performing arts showcase at St. Charles High School. And that's in Waldorf, right near the podcast studio.
That's right.
And it says it features the Spartones, Badger One Act, Band and Orchestra, Superior Therapy winners, and a sneak preview of their musical that's coming up, Footloose.
Oh, nice.
I love supporting those young artists that are up and coming. I think it's so important. I was in high school theater, and I remember just how magical those years were for me and how much growth and just... It was just fabulous, you know? I hear that we have a special guest coming up next.
A well-known special
He is.
guest. Yup,
He
and
is a star here in Southern Maryland.
fabulous to interview, fabulous to be friends with, fabulous to watch. So,
Our very own Magic Man. Hint, hint.
mhm.
Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Guys,
Well, yep.
tell them.
Well,
Oh my God, you tell them.
if you are a fan of magic, and who isn't? I mean,
yeah.
you're probably going to know our guest this week, Reggie Rice.
Me?
3-time Comedy Magician of the Year.
Okay, tell us more about him real quick, because you were telling me about all his accolades before we started.
Oh my
going.
gosh, Reggie.
You memorized them? I'm glad you
No, I mean,
memorized them because I made them all up. So it's a good that someone.
You've opened for Jordan Sparks, right? You've done benefits with Michelle Obama,
Children's Hospital in Washington, D.C.
right? And you've been to Vegas, and you know many of the most famous magicians.
I have met almost every. Actually, no. I have met all of my idols that I've looked to over the year. This last year, I just met 2 more who I have not met yet, who I looked up to so much. They were at the convention that I performed at the International Brotherhood of Magicians convention, in the audience while I was performing. And I was
Nothing like
So,
pressure.
other than that, I have met all my idols, and most can consider most of them friends now.
Wow.
Whoa.
So
I get very excited when I see the photos because I guess most people
Yeah.
think of David Copperfield.
Yeah.
which I've met.
Yep. And David Blaine.
I
Met
would pass
Blaine,
out.
I've met Chris Angel.
Oh
I've
my
met
God.
Siegfried and Roy.
Oh.
I have met every single magician who I grew up watching on TV at some point. And whenever I tell friends of mine who we started out with, the hyperspace crew, that we went to these conventions, and I've said I've met them and I've hung out with them, I have to pinch myself because it's absolutely crazy.
Oh, it's been a ride. So, to start off your magic career, how did this
start
start?
the
For
interview?
people who are not as
Yeah.
familiar with you.
I started at Hyperspace Fun Center, which is a family entertainment center that was here down in Hollywood, Maryland, the original Hollywood. And I was at the Rock Wall, and I did a magic trick for a kid, and the dad gave me $5 after that.
Ooh.
And that was lunch money. 19-year-old me was like, I can get more hyper wings.
Yeah.
So that was it. Literally the next day, I brought 2 tricks. That is literally the story. Now, it's not the
Go.
professional story, but that's how I got started in performing magic, starting to think about it as, oh, okay, this is something to start doing. I loved magic when I was younger, watching TV and shows, but I was always in the theater, right? I was actually the flying purple people eater in the 3rd grade play. The eyeball
That was you?
falls off during the show, and it rolls on the ground, and I pick it up, and everybody's like, oh, and I start to move it. Everyone starts to laugh, and I'm like, oh, okay, you get attention for
Yeah.
being funny. So that was the performance part of it. But then I started getting into the magic at Hyperspace, doing that, and then it began the professional part. Kathy, the owner of Hyperspace, took us, a couple other magicians or managers, to a food show in Ocean City. There was a magician performing there, and I quickly stopped perusing the food show and was stuck watching this magician, and began to introduce myself and to talk to him. And I started asking him about performings and different things like that. And he told me about the International Brotherhood of Magicians. I grew up in Ridge. I didn't know there was conventions about stuff. And you find out there's conventions on everything.
Oh,
and
yeah.
when you
Oh, yes.
got there, there's hundreds of other people who are doing what you love to do or the same thing. It's such a crazy experience. But there's a lot more to that story. But if you want, you can read the article. I have it on my website.
Oh, I was
stuff
so
like that.
excited
So-
when I saw not just a story in the Linking Ring magazine, but I mean the cover.
So I gotta know then, this is just, I don't know, call it morbid curiosity. If you weren't a magician, what would your job be?
Every time someone asks that question, there is no alternate universe, and I would be a magician. I still consider myself an actor playing the part of a magician. It would be in some type of entertainment, acting, or just in the hospitality field of that nature. But
You wouldn't be a banker, just, you know.
oh my gosh, the idea of offices. I said something to a friend of mine earlier about going to an interview, and they were like, oh, "What kind of interview?" And it was just like, I've never been to an interview. I've only been to one interview in my entire life because I've only ever had 2 jobs. I worked Walmart when I was 16. Then I started working at Hyperspace Fun Center.
You actually build the illusions yourself, right?
I started off building my own illusions out of necessity because didn't have the money necessarily go into it. I say this all the time and it mentions it in there. Hyperspace and me were just aligned when it came to what we were doing. I wanted to perform. They wanted to put on events for the community. So we kind of started looking into stuff. And we all started looking into it and it was like, oh, this stuff's expensive. We ended up trying to go on sites and find different things. When we went going down to North Carolina or one of the other states in the South and picked up a motorcycle production for $500 or $600. Now I know one of the crappiest built illusions ever. We thought we were getting a deal, and it ended up working that way. I think in my show now, I have more than half of the illusions that I personally built myself. It didn't start off that way. It started off where I didn't have any of the more expensive props and big boy toys and stuff like that. Yeah, I started working construction whenever I was at Tech Center. You know how things happen for a reason. And it just so happens that my career followed a path that I didn't know, but it works out perfectly. So necessity is the mother of all inventions. What is-
Yes. Yeah, I
Yes.
think that's what it is.
Speaking of illusions, one of the most exciting times I ever had was I got to go to Reggie's magic warehouse where he stores all
warehouse?
the illusions. And I walked in and it's
Top
like
secret.
every illusion you've ever seen Reggie do is right there. And we walked around as he discussed each one. And I'd say, Reggie, can I get in there? No. Reggie, can I get in there?
let
No.
you get in
We finally
stuff.
got to the end, which was a locked glass box.
Okay.
And he said, okay, you can get in that one, which I did. And he locked me in, and it was way fun.
Oh my God.
And I'm banging on the thing to let me out.
Because I lost the key, I think, or by accident.
Something like that.
That is my literal worst nightmare.
But I had
No.
I had stuffed animals and stuff to play with while I was in there. And,
It was my toy box illusion. It's literally one of Magic's oldest illusion, but it's my variation of it. The show Fool of Illusions is literally that kind of stuff. It's some classic magic tricks that I had turned into my own stories. Because I used to hate going to shows and they were like, "Oh, look at that box. We're gonna do this," and the girl would jump in and the guy would jump out, and they'd switch places. It's just okay. It was phenomenal. The magic was neat, but there was no story to it. I started off in theater, so all of my show always had to tell a story. Whenever people leave my show, whenever they watch The Metamorphosis, which is the name of that illusion that you were talking about that you were in, people don't leave the show and it's like, "Oh, we like that box." They were like, "You remember the one with the toy room?" Because it's dressed up as a toy box. And we have the toys and stuff like that. And it was like, "You were playing in the toy box and your assistant switched with you. It was so neat." And they talk about it. And then we have another one where I am the mask character. Or a Ghostbusters character. I love movies, so there's a theme.
I would have
There's a
never
theme.
been able to guess.
If you watch the video or my show, you'll be like, "I think he likes movies."
And I can tell you one thing that inspires Reggie, too, because you see a lot in your show, is Michael Jackson.
The more I think about it, it was always the character of Michael Jackson being larger than life.
Yeah.
And there's things when you watch him online, and I used to watch him and I studied. I watched study him and Elvis and other people, and it's like, what made them larger than life? And you'll see them capitalizing on moments. There's a thing, I think it was like in Munich, where Michael pops up out of the floor, which is an amazing illusion, and he stands still for, I think it was almost 7 to 10 minutes. And the people are going crazy, but and it's like,
10?
and
Oh my God.
he still, and then all of a sudden he just moved a little bit.
Yeah.
And they went crazy for another 5 minutes.
Yeah.
When he did it at other times, people kind of look at it like, "Oh, what is he doing?" It was calculated. It was part of the script. And it was brilliant. And it worked. But it's the larger than life thing. And I try to do that in my show or any parts of my show. I was watching Van Damme. And he was telling the camera guy to get down. Right? And it's like, "What are you doing? What is he doing?" He was telling him to get down so he could do his kick. He realizes that he's been doing it for years at the best angle to get this kick from that looks good for you and him. If you don't capitalize on those moments, you don't get the shots.
Yeah.
You have to. This didn't just happen overnight. Someone calculatedly set up the cameras and to make people look good. So
I remember
we
watching.
appreciate that.
I remember watching the Grammy Awards live. I guess it was like 1983 or 4 or something when he debuted the moonwalk for the first time, and the audience
it
was
like
silent for a second, and then
like out of nowhere.
yeah,
And
yeah,
he'd been
exactly.
practicing it for years.
And I guess and nobody knew to expect it or anything.
Yeah.
It was absolutely amazing. And you can moonwalk too, right?
I do
What?
I do it in the show, but you have to
Yep.
come to the show.
Okay. We won't give everything away. Speaking of, I think we should take a break a little bit on the questions and show the fine folks at home what it is that you do.
So you want to see a trick? I will do something pretty cool, pretty
Okay.
simple. If we can see this on the camera, it's like it's not what you think it is, but
Shut up.
if you want, you can hold that
Yes.
and you can take that.
You got a souvenir, Lucky.
I can see it on your face.
Where did he?
Where'd it go?
Okay. Oh. Okay.
And that's just a sleight of hand. I love sleight of hand, but I love big, grand illusions and gestures.
So you prefer the large-scale illusions to a close-up sleight of hand?
Yes and no. There's nothing like what I just got.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it. And there's a trick when it happens in the spectator's hands.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like real magic when it happens in their hands. And you can't get that on a large scale.
Mm-mm.
But when you have a large audience, the energy that she gave is magnitude by all the people who are there. I always like to do bigger stuff just because you can get more bang for the buck.
Oh, yeah.
But I cannot answer it. It's like picking a favorite child, even though the adults say they don't have them. They have one. They're just not allowed to say it out loud.
That's true.
But I love the bigger grand illusions.
I've been to so many Reggie shows, and the one thing I've got to say is the entire audience is really in the palm of Reggie's hand. They sit there and wait, and
I love
then they
that.
explode with laughter. It's the coolest thing. It's an event. If you haven't seen a Reggie show, you've got to go to a Reggie
have
show.
one coming up.
Okay, so tell us, what is that? What does it entail?
Fool of Illusions is a wild ride into my imagination. It is a combination of all the illusions that I've been collecting over years. I literally have a 24-foot truck worth of props and illusions that we cannot fit in anymore. I think our last show was in Great Mills, which sold out, so you want to get your tickets to this show. Since then, I've gotten 3 brand illusions where we have not done in the county, and I am so excited about them.
Oh.
And I'm going to, one of my favorite illusions that I have, one of my mentors that I looked up to for years. I loved it. It was my favorite illusion. I could not figure it out whenever I've seen it. I've seen him 5 or 6 times. I got to the point where I just forgot trying to figure it out. Last year, for my 40th birthday, not only did I get my birthday suit, which is what I have it on for, because I don't get to wear it often. I also got the illusion called Wind Shear. It is one of my favorite illusions, and we are debuting it in St. Mary's County at this show, and it is one of the most phenomenal illusions that I have ever seen, and I love it.
And this is the illusion that you said years ago you were always trying to figure out.
I
so.
ended up getting it from another friend of mine, and it is such a cool illusion. I didn't build this one, and there's a difference between that illusion that I love so much, and then there's my favorite because I built them from scratch, and they're my own original concepts, which the washer and dryer people say they love.
Yep.
I built that from scratch, and it's my own original concept. It's kind of based off of another illusion, but it's my baby.
It's nostalgic. It's sentimental. Yeah,
and
that's
it's great. I have 2 or 3 of those in the show. We have the Transporter, which I debuted at the International Brotherhood of Magician.
Yeah.
And the illusionist builder, who is, his name is Jim Steinmeier, one of the biggest and best there has ever been. He is the Copperfield of illusion builders. He worked with Doug Henning, which was a famous magician. I know James.
I saw
knows
him live on stage in
right?
the magic show, yeah.
He directed the show for Doug Henning. He came to the show, and that's the one I was telling you about, who I looked up to. I have not met yet. He came to the convention. He was in the audience. He watched the illusion, and he says, I'm going to tell you, I give it to people straight. You have a spark like I have not seen since Doug Henning. And I'm kind of quoting him like that, but I was so blown away. And I got him to sign my original illusion, and it was the best gift ever. I was so
I mean, anybody that remembers, Doug Henning, compliments don't get any bigger than that.
It was such an amazing experience. It was what I call half circle. Because full circle means I'm done, and I'm
Right,
I'm not done until 107. I planned it.
What's been your coolest experience with an audience member that just sticks out to you?
Oh my gosh, we could go on for days. I will say this without a shadow of a doubt. I love people with special needs or Down syndrome people in particular. They are the best people on earth. I love it. And I've had them on stage. If they're in the audience, they love volunteering, I will pick them. And it's selfish for two reasons. One, I love interacting with them. Two, I know for a fact they're going to steal the show, and it's going to be so fun and hilarious just watching them cheer. I'm sit back, I just kind of watch. And it was at the fair, St. Mary's Fair. I remember this young man just stole the show, and I'm like, hey, what? He's like, I got this. I love it. So there's a couple of times I just was on the cruise ship, and another young lady. It was her ship. Everyone knew it was her ship. And Angel, are you I'm coming up. Don't worry. Oh my gosh, I love my job so much. There was another illusion where we had Sydney. We did this illusion where she's supposed to protect a bucket from my assistant who's going to come out and pretend like he's taking something out. Okay. And he was in a green screen suit, right?
Oh, okay.
It's a funny bit where he's slow motion across stage. She's protecting the bucket. She was probably like 8 or 9. And when he goes to get her off, usually kids just do what someone's telling. So she starts to kind of beat him. And all of us are dying on stage. I mean, dying laughing. We're sitting there crying. And he's like, I don't know what to do. He wasn't talking, but he's like, and I had to go over and tell her to come here for a second so we could complete the illusion because she wasn't letting him do his job. That's the one that stands out. That's why I'm in this business. Every time I perform, there's a moment in the show where I didn't anticipate, I couldn't have planned, and it's genuinely makes me laugh. I think if I don't have a moment like that in the show, I'm done. I'll quit.
Well, people are unpredictable.
I'm taking my illusion show on the road and I'll be touring. I already have a contract as far as Michigan.
Wow.
So we're going to start picking up contracts in different places. We're going to North Carolina, and every stop in between.
That's
so
fabulous.
I am not going anywhere. I do like performing on land. So.
Reggie goes global.
Yes, global. So.
All right. So we briefly started talking about the show you have coming up on February 16th. Let's circle it back around to that. Tell us, what's it for? Where is it located? All of that.
LLS is the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, which is the blood cancer and stuff like that. That is what this show is for. Okay. I've been helping with these for, I think it was like 2016. I was part of a local group that they actually had me come in and help them do a fundraiser, Fly for a Cure, and they were collecting thousands. They won for the whole nationals, like $250,000 they raised.
Oh my goodness.
It was so crazy. And I was just a small part of that. But this year, I was not able to do it because I had a cruise ship already booked. And they already had their thing out. And I was really upset about that. But my best friend in high school, her brother passed away last year. I can't remember his particular disease, but it's a blood cancer. And his stepdaughter reached out to me and was like, hey, I was going to do a fundraiser. And I said, yes. She's like, what? I was like, I didn't ask you what it was for. Joshua Casio, I was a friend of his, but I was best friends with his sister. To help out his stepdaughter and to do that was a no-brainer for me. It was like, we'll make it work when it comes to the timing and find out that. So that is what and who the fundraiser is for. It's part of her team. Her team is New Fight, Same Champs. It's a branch of the same organization. And there's a lot more to that. You can go to the website and you guys can learn more about that. But it's a fundraiser for that. It's such an amazing cause, and I'm such proud to be a part of it, but also it touches a little to home because it's for a friend and their family, and I was so excited to do that. So
and
that's
students,
what the show is.
Students are heavily involved
They are doing the fundraiser. I am just putting on the show.
Right.
They are doing so many other fundraisers. So I'm putting on my Fool of Illusion show as a fundraiser for that. It's at ChapterCon High School, February 16th. At 7 p.m. And you need to get your tickets now because when this airs, it's going to be crazy. As of now, it's 15 days. Tickets are going to sell out.
And it's only one night, one performance, right?
Oh my goodness!
I've never seen a Reggie show that didn't sell out. So I mean, he's not kidding. You do have to.
I've been in this a long time.
I love that.
I must be just at the really hot shows. But Friday, February 16th, showtime 7 p.m. FoolofIllusions.com. Family-friendly 90-minute comedy illusion show.
Some fun, new illusions, new stuff. It's going to be so fun.
Oh, I want to be there because I want to see the new illusions.
So, did you want to see another magic trick?
Yes.
I knew you.
Oh my God, yes.
All right, we'll do something simple.
Okay, let me.
And see how this works, and I'll just speak. right here.
Okay.
So you can put your hand out for me, and I want you to squeeze nice and tight. Just
I won't
squeeze
take
tight.
Lindsey's money.
And then wave your magic finger. Perfect. I'll get you a magic wand here. I'll just do this for the camera. Here you go. That's gross. I'll just use your finger.
Okay.
And say the magic words.
Ippity boppity boo.
You know, those are great. We'll try this one. Say the magician is handsome. Thank you for not laughing. Otherwise, my therapist would have called you. Open up nice and slow. Yeah.
Oh.
That's okay.
So there's 3.
That is it's very strange.
Oh.
It's an asexual rock. So we'll just do a little bit like this. We'll count ready. 1.
Okay. 1,
2.
2.
Third one I'll put in my pocket over here. How many's in the hand?
2.
You did say the show we had to
Oh
go.
my God!
Right?
Oh my God! Stop!
I just didn't want the show to run too long. I figured we had to get you.
How?
I'm going to have you come to the front row of my show.
Yeah.
But I almost forgot. I'm jumping all over. Are we going to give away some tickets?
Oh, that's very generous of you. This
That
for the
is.
for the Chopticon show,
Yes, we're gonna
February
do it.
16th.
We'll give away 2 tickets.
To all of you lovely viewers out there, if you would like to enter to win 2 free tickets to
Yep.
this upcoming show on February 16th, you can either comment below anywhere you see this video, or you can contact us on Facebook at The ArtsFam, or Instagram at We Are The ArtsFam.
Or send an email to Lindsey at theartsfam.com. Her son picks it.
Yes, so we put all the names in a hat, and he
Okay.
picks it out.
Awesome.
It's the most. He's 6 years old, and it's the most exciting thing ever for him.
Awesome. That is
You got to bring him to a Reggie show. He'd bug
I'm
out.
pretty sure he'd pass away in the best way possible. He would just be like,
That's great. We're going to have to definitely make sure he goes. So.
Well, I could speak for Lindsey too. I mean, we'll be at that Chopticon show because New
Absolutely.
Illusions. I want to see it.
Yes, and for a great cause. Team New Fight, Same Champs. I'm so excited to be a part of what they're doing. These kids are amazing. So I'm proud of Alyssa and her team and what they're doing. So I'm excited to be a part of it.
that's great. Well, Reggie, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast.
All right, I'm the first magician.
Yes.
Yes, I'll take it. I'm the best magician you've had on the show so far.
That is absolutely
That is very
true.
true.
I'll take it.
That
Take
is
your
very
wins when you
true.
can get them.
All right, y'all. Stay right there. We'll be right back to close out this episode. Don't go away. Welcome back.
Hello.
That interview, oh my goodness.
Reggie is absolutely the most fun guest that I have ever interviewed. I mean, it's a laugh a minute, and he's a great guy. I mean, I'm friends with him too. And you want a performer? You go to see Reggie. Plus, he's the only performer that gives us $100 bills with his picture on them.
How fun.
How fun to be on the cover of the Linking Ring magazine. This is a big deal magazine for magicians, you know? And here he is in the flesh. But
the magic tricks that he did on
oh, yeah.
I mean, y'all saw my face. You can't fake that, right?
No, you can't. And, you know, I'm going to tell every magician I know to show stuff to Lindsey because you'll get the best reaction ever. But, you know what? As far as getting a good reaction, his shows are so much fun. Make sure you go. It's only one night. You got to go. We'll see you there.
We will.
And if you see us there, please come up and tell us that you're watching the ArtsFam. Tell us events that you've got coming up, or just let us know how you like the podcast.
And speaking of, if you want to let us know digitally of any events coming up that you think should be featured right here on the ArtsFam podcast, as always, feel free to email us at lindsey@theartsfam.com. Contact us on Facebook at The ArtsFam, or Instagram at We Are The ArtsFam, or you can comment anywhere you see this video. Well, that's the end of this episode.
I don't want it to end. Well, we had that much fun. Do you really want it to end?
I mean, not really, but like...
We got to go back to real life,
we
you
do,
know?
We do.
We're in podcast life right now.
We are,
right
and
now.
it's a beautiful, beautiful world to be living in.
Oh, it's a place to be.
We got to go. All right, you beautiful human beings. As always, thank you for joining us on the ArtsFam podcast. We'll see you next week.
Bye.